1. Hook. If you're launching a startup or building an app, you might be tempted to jump straight into microservices. But hold on, doing this too early can sink your project. Let's unpack why and what you should do instead. Many beginners and startups rush into microservices thinking they'll solve all their problems. The reality? It often leads to chaos, wasted resources, and mounting technical debt. 3. The simple explanation: microservices break down an application into smaller, independent services. This makes it easier to scale. But when your app is small, this complexity can be overkill. Instead of speeding things up, it can slow you down. You have to manage multiple services, deal with network latency, and increase your operational overhead. Here's the bottom line: if your app isn't at least moderately complex, you're better off with a monolith. A monolithic application is simpler to develop, test, and deploy. It allows your team to focus on building features instead of managing infrastructure. 4. Real-world example: let's look at a startup called Foodie Box, which wanted to revolutionize food delivery. They started with a small team of 5 developers. Excited about the potential of microservices, they split their app into 5 separate services: user management, order processing, payment gateway, delivery tracking, and notifications. Initially, it seemed like a great idea. But as they built each service, they encountered serious challenges. Overhead: they spent 40% of their time managing inter-service communication. Cost: their cloud bill skyrocketed to $2,000 a month due to multiple instances running across services. Latency issues: each service call added 200 milliseconds of delay, frustrating their users. After 6 months of development, they pivoted back to a monolithic architecture. They found that their initial focus on microservices had delayed their launch by 2 months. Once they reverted, they were able to release a working product within 4 weeks. They learned the hard way that simplicity often trumps complexity in the early stages. 5. What to do instead. So, what should you do if you're starting out? Here's a step-by-step framework. 1. Assess complexity. How complex is your app? If you're not sure, keep it simple. If your app has less than 10 distinct features, stick with a monolith. 2. Identify functionality. Start with core functionalities that your users need right away. Focus on building a minimum viable product that addresses a specific problem. 3. Monitor growth. Keep an eye on user growth. If you're seeing over 10,000 active users per month and performance issues arise, it's time to reconsider your architecture. Use metrics like response time and error rates to guide your decisions. 4. Plan for transition. If you hit that growth threshold, start planning. Identify which services can be split off based on functionality. Aim for a gradual migration. This way, you minimize disruption. 5. Educate your team. Ensure your team understands the implications of a microservices architecture. Schedule regular review sessions to discuss when it might be appropriate to transition. 6. Common mistakes. Here are 5 common mistakes teams make when adopting microservices too early, along with tips to avoid them. 1. Assuming microservices are always better. Fix. Analyze your current needs. If your app is simple, stick with a monolith. 2. Neglecting team skills. Fix. Ensure your team is skilled in distributed systems. Provide training before jumping into microservices. 3. Over-engineering. Fix. Focus on the MVP. Add complexity only when absolutely necessary. 4. Ignoring DevOps needs. Fix. Understand that microservices require a strong DevOps culture. Don't jump in without the right processes and tools. 5. Underestimating costs. Fix. Track your cloud expenses. If they exceed your budget by more than 20%, reevaluate your architecture. 7. Quick checklist before deciding on microservices. Go through this checklist. Is my app complex enough? Do I have the right team skills? Can I manage the operational overhead? Am I prepared for potential latency issues? Is my budget sufficient for cloud costs? If you can't answer yes to most of these, it might be time to reconsider. 8. Summary plus CTA and summary. Jumping into microservices too early can lead to unnecessary complexity and costs. Start with a monolithic architecture, focus on your core features, and only transition when your app's complexity demands it. Have you faced challenges with microservices? Share your experiences in the comments. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe for more practical tech insights. Bonus practical tip: if you're unsure what to pick, start with the simplest option that ships today. Then measure for 7 days, latency, errors, deploy time, and cost. Only upgrade when metrics force the decision, not fear. Quick recap: keep it simple, avoid over-engineering, and build the smallest thing that works. If you want a real demo or checklist, comment demo. Subscribe for practical AWS, DevOps, Docker, and Kubernetes lessons.